Sect of Eliyahu territory over here. Marks the Hilula of a famous Rabbi Rabbi Naim ben Eliyahu, Zecher Tzadik Libracha. Now, he passed away quite recently, about 11 years ago, in the year 2014. To be precise, it was on English date, the 1st of September. And he was born all the way back in the year 1923 on the 14th of October. That was naturally the 4th of Cheshvan of that year. He would go on to become a rabbi of the Bukharian neighborhood in Jerusalem, a place we visited on this channel on various occasions before. And he would become the Rosh Yeshivat Ben Ish Chai, respectively. A very prominent position. Let's explore a few of the highlights of the famous rabbi's life. Now, he was born, as I said before, on the 4th of Cheshvan, Tav Reish Pei Dalet, 1923. In the old city of Jerusalem, and he came from great rabbinic auspices. His father was Rabbi Salman Eliyahu, a rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions before. He happens to also be the father of Rabbi Mordechai, the former chief rabbi of Israel. Let's say something about Rabbi Salman Eliyahu. Respectively, he was actually a Talmid, his father was, or the Ben Ish Chai. He obviously emigrated and would go on to study with the famous Rabbi Chaim Shaul Dweika Kohen, who was Rabbi of Yeshivat Rehovot Hanahar, if I'm not mistaken, and he obviously Rav Kohen was the author of Rabbi Chaim Vital's Etz Chaim Torah work. He would write a Perush on, respectively. Let's explore a bit more within regards to him. Apparently, his father, Rabbi Salman Eliyahu, was offered a place in Oxford University, but he would eventually end up going prepared to study in the famous Yeshivat Midrash Bet Zilka in Jerusalem, the one that was actually Yeshiva, which was headed and originally founded by, through also Rab Abdallah Somech. I think he was very close to the Ben Ish Chai. His father happened to have been. He would eventually, his father would move to the Bukhari neighborhood, I think in Rehovot Elazar, I think of that place. He would learn in the Rehovot Nahar Yeshiva over there, Kabbalistic Yeshiva of Rab Chaim Shaul Kohen Dweik. Various great rabbis that he would actually study with him. I think also, if I'm not mistaken, he had a connection with the Kaf HaChaim, Rabbi Yaakov Chaim Sofer, another great rabbi. And he was close to Rabbi Yitzhak Kadori, another one of the famous rabbis, especially over the last 100 years in Jewish history. And I believe also his father happened, much of he was connected, Rav Salman Eliyahu, to many, many great rabbis. I believe his Rav Salman Eliyahu, the father of Rabbi Naim Eliyahu, Naim ben Eliyahu, was married to Rabbanit Mazal. She happened to be, I think, the sister of Rabbi Yehuda Tzadka. Interesting enough. So there was, and Rabbi Tzadka would later on go on to become the head rabbi of Yeshivat Parat Yosef, let's say the bastion of Sephardic Yeshivat, respectively. So that's very interesting. Solomon Eliyahu has a great repertoire and a great reputation. Okay, so his son, obviously, who we're speaking about today, happens to be Rabbi Naim ben Eliyahu. So he was accepted, let's just say, in Baghdad, let's just say. And so I think, as I said before, Rav Salman Eliyahu was close to the Ben Ish Chai, and his Rav Naim ben Eliyahu's mother was Rabbanit Mazal, had very obviously family relations close to Rabbi Yehuda Tzadka. So we can see the greatness within regards to the lineage already of them. And okay, so that's very interesting. So later on, I think he would learn in a Talmud Torah called Bnei Tzion, a place we've spoken about on various occasions before. That's where he would actually be educated over there. I think it was tough times in general in Iraq, wherever it might have been. I think in Jerusalem, also from a financial point of view. I think it's reported over that. I think his when Rav Naim ben Eliyahu was 16 years of age, sadly, I believe his father, Rav Salman Eliyahu, had passed away. It was reported over. So Rav Salman Eliyahu, I believe, passed away back in the year 1940. We're talking about 85 years ago, across approximately from the time of recording. Okay, so he would go on and learn in Talmud Torah, Bnei Tzion. Bnei Tzion is a place we've spoken about in the series beforehand. That was a place which featured many great rabbis over there. Not just Rabbi Naim ben Eliyahu, you had Rabbi Ben Zion Abba Shaul, Hacham Obadi Yosef, Rabbi Yehuda Moalem, Rabbi David Tzadka, Rabbi Yehuda Tzadka, Rabbi Yosef Shraga, Rabbi Eliyahu Shrim, Rabbi Shalom Cohen, Rabbi Moshe Tzadka. It was really Rabbi Shimon Elitov, and various different great rabbis would very much be part of this famous Yeshivat, respectively, a place we've spoken about. We actually recorded a video, if I'm not mistaken, about this yeshiva. That's where very much he would be nurtured over there. Afterwards, he would study in the bastion of Sephardic Yeshivot. Yeshiva Porat Yosef over there, under the auspices at that point in time of Rab Ezra Atiyah. And I think also another great rabbi who happened to be at the premiership over there was Rabbi Tzadka Chutzin. So he's very close with all of those. And I think he was very close with Rab Ovadia Yosef, and also Rab Ben Zion Abashul. Those were two rabbis he happened to be very close to, maybe learning. I'm not sure it was a chavruta per se, but very much had a strong connection to. I think it was close to also someone named Meir Mina, if I'm not mistaken. He happened to have been also a famous person. I think from Baghdad, from Jerusalem over there. I think he was he actually had learned from like the teachings of Rabbi Shalom Mizrahi Shirabi, respectively. Meir Mina, I'm not too sure if he was rabbi or not, but he was born in the year 1914 and passed away in the year 1991. He was a famous person of his time. Hopefully, maybe we'll speak about him in this series at one stage in time. Okay, so that's very interesting. So I think through his derech, he was close also to Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu, his brother. It was also Rabbi Shimon ben Eliyahu also, and very much really a great family in of itself. More can be said within regards to him. If I'm not mistaken, he would actually be part of the Haganah, if I'm not mistaken, at one stage in time. And I think he even suffered from wounds in battles. I'll say it over what it says here in the website of Wikipedia over here within regards to him. Haya lochem b'Haganah v'av niftzah b'kravot milchamet ha'atzmaut. Seemingly like he was in the 1948 Independence War and would suffer from injury from that. Now, he would get married to Rabbanit Rachel, and very interesting. I think she would be heading a seminar in the old part of Jerusalem, if I'm not mistaken, and take on various different importances, if I'm not mistaken. So, yes, that's very important. Serving as a teacher in the neighborhood of Katamon, I think there was a school, a Bet Sefer over there in Jerusalem, that had been established. He would be close also, he would be working as a rabbi, I think in the Bukhari neighborhood, the Shechonat Abokharim in Jerusalem, respectively, a place we visited on the channel. I recommend everyone to watch over those tour videos we did over there. He was also very close, as I said before, to Chacham Ovadia Yosef. Remember, Rabbi Ovadia Yosef was the chief rabbi of Israel between the years 1973 to 1983. Now, it's reported over that Rabbi Naim ben Eliyahu passed away on the 6th of Elul, back in the year 2014. So at that stage in time, he'd be about close to 91 years of age. He was buried in Har Menachot, the Mount of Resting's place, respectively. And so you can see great Iraqi family of his time. We mentioned about many great Iraqi rabbis. And I think he died, so he was close to, I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe he was buried near Rabbi Yitzchak Dori, but someone will have to confirm with me on that. And I think it was close to Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu. So it was a very, very great rabbinic tree. I think they actually have a rabbinic family tree of the great Eliyahu rabbinic dynasty also, which I recommend everyone to look online also. So he was a great rabbi at that point in time. Much has been said within regards to him. He was obviously a Talmud of Rabbi Ezra Atiyah, Rabbi Mordechai Mizrahi Shirabi. Rabbi Shirabi happened to have been the Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivat Nahar Shalom, another place we've spoken about. Another one of his rabbis was Rabbi Ovadia Hadaya, one of the famous Dayanim and Kabbalists of his time. Rabbi Hadaya would also become the Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivat Bet El in its day, and was a rabbi of various rabbinical courts, including the rabbinical court in Petach Tikva. He was a Sephardi rabbi at that stage in time. So I think it was precisely 90 years of age when he had passed away, the great rabbi. I think we've spoken about him on various occasions before inside the series, which I very much recommend everyone to look about within regards to it and to the history about him. He studied in Porat Yosef Yeshiva. He was a teacher and educator. He was part of the army, I think, in the Independence War. He fought. He suffered from also from injury over there in his heroism to protect Am Yisrael. Now, what's interesting is we can add on a few more tidbits within regards to the great rabbi. I think he would set up, as I said before, a Bet Sefer, a school in Katamon, and he would be the rabbi of a synagogue, if I'm not mistaken. It was called Noam Siach, if I'm not mistaken, in the Bukhari neighborhood. That was the name of the synagogue. He would be working in the Chesed realm, doing huge acts of kindness. He would set up a various different charity organizations to especially help out, I think, potential married couples that for their needs for the weddings. Also, you would be working within regards to the Tarat Mishpacha field, and would be helping people, sadly, if they lost a loved one. And he would learn Kabbalah also. He was a great Kabbalist also. And I think he would make various manuscripts, which we'll speak about, I think, on the Kerem Shlomo, if I'm not mistaken, that had been written, if I'm not mistaken, by Rabbi Salman Eliyahu, his father. That was a Perush, an expoundation on the famous book of the Rav Chaim Vital's book of the Etz Chaim, which we've spoken about on various occasions before. And I think he did suffer towards the end of his life from sickness, illnesses, and he passed away in the year 2014. Let's explore a few of the highlights from the book of his, I think, various different, actually let's explore a few of the highlights of various different drashot he actually gave over. Just now using notes from the Chaimi website, I think he gave a shir over in the year 2000 on Parshat Toldot time period, which said, "Melamed shebesha'a sheroim et Yitzchak shod'im shechonech v'yedei Abraham." This is one of the teachings, I think, from Parshat Toldot. Another teaching of his, I think, would come from the Kol Sof Yecha. I think, I'm not sure what year he would say this over. "Melamed im rishonim kemalachim shemafsikim limodam lilmod al acherim." Another teaching, I think, that comes from him. I think that's brought down from Rabbi Ephraim ben Porat, if I'm not mistaken. I think actually Hidabrut, with the Kiruv organization, would print this or would publish this in the year 2014. Melamed hidlahavut rabo mitzvat kisui hadam be'efer. That's another teaching. Another teaching, I think, which actually a last teaching that also comes from Parshat Toldot, which was in the year 2000, was printed, was revealed over. Melamed parnasati kekelev v'ke'orev b'schut avotai v'ulai tza'atzai. So that's another very interesting tidbit within regards to him. And he was a great rabbi of his time. He was very much one of the great rabbis of Jerusalem. We mentioned him on various occasions before. We mentioned his brother and his father, Rabbi Salman Eliyahu, and Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu. Also, we did various different videos at the time of their Hilul also, which I very much recommend everyone to look into. Now, friends, we're a community here. We're learning about great rabbis of yesteryear. If you descend from any of the great Chachamim we are speaking about, please send me an email. I would love to hear more information within regards to the great rabbis. If you feel anyone is interested in watching any of these videos, please share these videos also to other people. That's one of the best ways you can join the community. This community at the moment has nearly 7,500 subscribers. We are aiming to get to that by the festival of Rosh Hashanah. Bez Rosham, I think we can do it. I'm pretty confident we could do it. There's very, very high chance that we can do it. We've already spoken about in this series about a staggering 1,250 great rabbis of yesteryear, especially from the Ottoman countries, from the Idut Mizrach countries, also Spanish countries respectively, and all those various different territories. That's what we are trying to, let's say, concentrate on over here inside this series, and we're really going from strength to strength. So please, everyone, subscribe. Wishing you all a fantastic day. And we don't just record videos on the great rabbis of yesteryear, we also, on this series, record videos on great, interesting personalities of modern year, of nowadays, to give us some chizuk for Am Yisrael. We record Daf Yomi videos on this channel. We also do Parshat Shavua, Yalkut Yosef, Sephardi Halacha, we try and concentrate on, and so on and so forth. So wishing you a great day. Thanks for watching, and take care. Thanks. I'm Alicia.